So we got the powder alarm. We got the storming of Fort William and Mary. We got the battles of Lexington and Concord. We got the siege of Boston. We got the gunpowder incident. New York, Armory Raid, the capture of Fort Ticonderoga, Battle of Chelsea Creek, Battle of Machias, Battle of Bunker Hill, capture of Turtle Bay Depot, Battle of Gloucester, the raid on the Battery, siege of Fort St. John, the Battle of Longue Pointe, burning of Falmouth, Battle of Kemp's Landing, siege of Savages Oldfields, Battle of Great Bridge, Snow Campaign, Battle of Great Cane Break. We haven't even got to 1776 yet. Battle of Quebec. Now we're in 1776. The burning of Norfolk, the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge, the Battle of Rice Boats, the Battle of Nassau, the Battle of St. Pierre, the Battle of Block Island, the Battle of the Cedars, Battle of Trois Rivieres, the Battle of Sullivan's Island, the Battle of Turtle Gut Inlet, the Battle of Gwynn's Island, Battle of Lindsay Fort, the Battle of Long Island. You know when you walk outside in like a mosquito-infested area, you walk outside and then these mosquitoes are just all over. They're here, they're there, and then you can't think of anything else because you know these poisonous, Battle of Long Island, landing at Kips Bay, Battle of Harlem Heights. Okay, now we're getting to, this is George Washington, and we're losing these battles. Battle of Valcour Island, Battle of Mama Roadneck, Battle of White Plains. Okay, Battle of White Plains is going to happen October 28th, 1776 in New York, and it's a British victory. We have to listen to, you want to know the truth, you got to know the truth. And George Washington lost more battles than he won. So the Battle of White Plains, something that's kind of, interesting about the Battle of White Plains, 1776? Yeah, October 28th, 1776 in New York. The Headless Horseman, the legend of Sleepy Hollow. You got this Hessian that was, his head was blown off by a cannonball. Americans took a cannonball and blew his head off. And that's, the story is just the Hessian had his head blown off on the field, and then they had to pick up his, his smashed head that was torn to pieces. Now that's going to turn into the Headless Horseman of the legend of Sleepy Hollow. That comes from the Battle of White Plains. That Hessian, which is from Hesse, Germany, got his head blown the fuck off. So that's interesting. The Battle of White Plains. Okay, so October 20th. This is 8 days beforehand. You got George Washington who's going to send Rufus Putnam out to recon. So George Washington sent Rufus Putnam out for recon from Harlem Heights. Harlem Heights was one of the few victories that we had, and it was because they took the high ground. You maintain the high ground until you can't anymore. Then you seek the middle ground. You don't ever want to get into the ditch. You don't want them to Chief Greenhorn you. You don't want don't be like Chief Greenhorn, but be more like Chief Takatak, the Paiwan. Be more like Chief Takatak. So October 20th, George Washington sends Rufus Putnam. This is like the only Rufus that I'm like, hey, hell yeah, Rufus. So he goes out there from Harlem Heights and he sees all these Brits and he sees them all over the place. And they're close by, so they're threatening the army, they're threatening the supplies. Most of George Washington's troops were at White Plains. Now, he sent 1,200 men under Nathaniel Greene to defend Fort Washington in Manhattan. 1,200 men under Nathaniel Greene to defend Fort Washington, which is known as Manhattan today. We're going to lose the Battle of Fort Washington later on. So we'll talk about that later. But most of George Washington's troops, he had 12,000 troops. It fluctuated through the thing, but 9,000, 12,000, 15,000 troops. He had an average about 12,000 troops. So how many people were here at the White Plains? Well, they said that it's 3,100. So I guess his fucking army really has dwindled. They did take 3,000 men. One of those, the Battle of Fort Washington, they took 3,000 men. So 3,100, this is the numbers of Wikipedia. 7,500 Brits and 3,100 Americans. So they had twice as many people. And then it also said 47 Brits killed and 100 Americans killed. But then those numbers also, they inflated. They said it's a possibility that 267 Brits were killed and 500 Americans were killed. Well, I mean, that's a pretty big. How many? Was it 47 or 267? Was it 100 or 500? Well, when they were counting the casualties, they would kind of group some of these battles together. And so they would say in the span of 7 days, here's how many people died. So from between 47 to 267 Brits killed, from 100 to 500 Americans were killed. Now, there was a concerted defense, and they stopped the British army to halt. So there was some, successes. Okay, October 22nd, right? So we got, most of George Washington's men is at White Plains, and they're ready for the Brits. And what Howe is trying to do, Howe just landed there. He's taking New York, he's taking Long Island, he's taking York Island. So he's sitting there fucking taking all these islands. And he's headed to Philadelphia. He's trying to take the Hudson River, or the Lake Champlain, Hudson Bay, the Hudson River. So he's trying to take both Philadelphia and the Hudson Bay. And I heard that the Hudson Bay, man, they were fucking complaining. The Hessians were they hated this country. They said, my God, it's fucking hot and goddamn humid in the fucking daytime, and it's freezing cold at night. Not only did he talk about mosquitoes, the flies were nonstop. The flies were nonstop, but also the snakes. He says every time that you would go to sleep, he was just so terrified of the snakes, crawling into his campsite. So they were trying to take Philadelphia. They were trying to, basically destroy Washington's army. If they could destroy Washington's army, then we don't have any men to fight. George Washington was kind of doing ambush skirmish. He was doing the ambush skirmish retreat. So, kind of like Native Americans hiding behind trees and shit instead of being like a nice regular army. So he's kind of just picking them off, one at a time. But he's not doing a direct military engagement. He's not doing a direct fight. And with these kinds of numbers, 7,500 versus 3,000, they would have just ran us right the fuck over. I mean, that's 2 men to 1. October 22nd, Howe got 8,000 more troops under the command of Wilhelm von Knipsall. So, and then when you go to a place that's absolutely saturated with mosquitoes, you have to be vigilant. Right? Those motherfuckers got malaria and West Nile virus and, smallpox and what the hell ever. And we've wiped out smallpox and some other things. Smallpox and yellow fever, diphtheria, but they were all dying of this shit. They didn't get inoculated. They didn't get their vaccines. Vaccines are good for like 10 diseases. So that has to suck. I mean, basically, they're worried, that they don't have as good of medicine and immune systems as, well, you would like to think we have today. So Howe's got 8,000 more troops, so that's why he had so many more people. And 3,000, that's like, damn, George Washington's, army has dwindled down to nothing. It's also Wikipedia, so maybe it's just that battle, or something. Okay, so Wilhelm von Knipfalsen, 8,000 more troops. Charles Lee forced the march at night to avoid. Charles Lee had to do a forced march at night in order to avoid the British, because Charles Lee was out there in the field. October 28th, Henry Clinton. You had Howe and the Hessian troops under General von Heister. So these are fucking British. Who are the British people? Well, you got Wilhelm von Knipfalsen. You got Henry Clinton. You got General von Heister. And you got that Howe. Was it William Howe? How is he going to do this? How is he going to conquer the Americans? I bet you the fucking British thought that they were just going to come right in here and take all of our fucking freedoms. They didn't understand. The redcoats are going to tax us and be tyrannical fucking bastards. And they probably said the thin red line, right? No, they're the cops and they get to fucking do whatever the fuck they want to do. No, they get to beat you up. They get to shoot Crispus Attucks in the fucking face. They get to tax the shit out of you. Take it all. And now with the Government Reorganization Act, they're saying that the that we, the American colonies, weren't even British. We were British subjects. We weren't even a part of the Brits. We were going to be second-class citizens. We were a colony underneath the real British people of London. And, we used to take pride in being British. We loved the British. And they fucked it up. They kept fucking pushing us, and it was just insufferable. The oppression was too goddamn much. Why the fuck couldn't the Redcoats just leave us the fuck alone? There was, even that Edmund Burke was against it. Edmund Burke says, we're not making money off the taxes. We're making money from trade. We want them to keep their markets open. They give us the raw materials, and then they buy our fucking goods. That's a good market. That's how we make our money. We should have listened to Edmund Burke when it came to the American Revolution, not the French Revolution. He's all fucked up on that front. So October 28th, you got 7,500 British people. You got Henry Clinton there, and you got that Howe, and then the Hessian troops under General von Heister. And you're going to have, 200 to 300, 500 maybe, that were killed. The one good strong point is that we had a concerted defense in the beginning. We were all over the place, but because we were here, there, like east, west, north, and south, we had a concerted defense, and the British couldn't fucking rout us. They couldn't run us over. They couldn't take over. They had to, retreat. They had to take a step back. So we Americans were able to hold our position for 2 days. And then George Washington is going to retreat into the hills. Where'd you go? Just into the hills. Okay. October 30th, heavy rain gave George Washington one night head start. So he started his retreat. Howe thought that, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go attack George Washington. I'm going to get him. His army's just right there. We're going to get some sleep, and then we're going to go get him. Heavy rain comes down, so a lot of, God was on our side. God was on our side. And then that's it. That's all the notes that I got for the Battle of White Plains. Basically, it's you can learn from your losses. You have to learn from your losses. I mean, you can't give up on yourself, and you can't give up on America. And George Washington, if we lose, then that means this is all British territory, and then they all get hung as traitors. George Washington, when he was a British guy, he hung some deserters. He hung one deserter, and the guy only deserted 2 times, but he called him the biggest villain on the continent. Well, and then he said, Your Honor. So he was like writing a letter, and he was bragging about it. Your Honor, I went ahead and took the thing and hung him, and he said that the other men were very much horrified. So he was trying to scare his men into compliance. Just deserting makes you the biggest villain on the fucking continent. We're talking about freedom here. And George Washington's he owned slaves. He was an aristocrat. The reason why George Washington was a perfect fit to be the leader of America was because he was basically a British general. He was British through and through, but he was a radical. So he was on America's side. Eventually, it took a while for him to get on America's side, but once he got on America's side, it was unanimous. Everybody at the Continental Congress said that he should be the commander-in-chief. So let's just talk about revolutionary battles in general. So revolution is the only kind of warfare that is lawful. The revolution is the self-defense principle for a nation. The nation, America, they said is a third and a third and a third. A third for America, a third for the British, and a third were neutral. But it's when it becomes unsufferable. And, thank God. I think, because to the rest of the world, we got all these freedoms. But we actually don't have the freedoms here in America. It's very much fascist. Fucking thin blue line fascist motherfuckers around here. They tax us. They don't protect us. I've never once called a cop, and he's never gone and fucking caught the fucking guy. These motherfuckers, a cop killed Bobby Kennedy. Who the fuck are the cops actually fucking protecting? Motherfuckers want to say, hey, you're fucking privileged. Motherfucker, I've never once called a cop and goddamn got him to go fuck. And also, cops, I got raped in jail. I've been beaten up by fucking cops. Oh, you know what I was doing? I was walking to the fucking store. Yeah, I was walking to the store. They beat me up, and then I went to jail, and then they fucking raped me. And then when I had crimes that happened to me, I called the cops, and they just shoved a thumb up their asshole, and they said, we can't do nothing. So what the fuck is going on? Basically, I feel like when I was going through a whole bunch of shit, there's a Nazi siege day in and day out, and I drove up to Alamosa and got a car, and as I was driving back, so the motherfucking cop pulls me over. Well, I pull over. He gives me a ticket. Now I have to go to fucking court 2 times. I told him that all that shit was happening. He goes, it's not in his jurisdiction. Oh, okay, cool, dude. Cool. So because I fucking pulled over, because I fucking accept your fucking bullshit, and then when the fuck are you going to go after the dangerous people, the fucking criminal motherfuckers actually committing crimes? It's like they can see your light. It's like they can see your light in the spirit. They don't have heart. They don't have a soul. They don't have they don't have light. They don't have light. And since they're fucking hollowed out, emptied out husk, that's why they hung Jesus, right? Jesus was just reverent. The Romans said, we're the ones in charge. Why? Because the emperor says I'm in charge. Okay, well, Jesus is just talking to us, and he's talking to us like fucking people, and it's awesome. He's talking to us like people. You're just going to suck the fascist fucking assholes? That's what you're going to do? Oh, okay. So I want to talk about the revolution. So there's a lot of good lessons in the revolution. You got Ethan Allen. Ethan Allen went ahead and took the initiative. You had George Washington was losing. George Washington was losing. Battle after battle. But Ethan Allen, what did Ethan Allen do? Ethan Allen took Fort Ticonderoga. So he took the initiative. He took the initiative while George Washington's over there losing battle after battle. Ethan Allen says, I'm down with the fucking revolution. This Fort Ticonderoga is just sitting right there. And so the Green Mountain Boys and Ethan Allen went ahead and took Fort Ticonderoga. So in the very beginning of the revolution is going to last for 6-7 years. But in the beginning, we're getting our asses kicked. The fucking British is coming up. They seem to be kind of impossible to beat. But because of the Battle of Harlem Heights, because of Fort Ticonderoga, we're fighting back and we're winning. And so it's like, well, shit, we might actually be able to win this fucking thing. Remember when those Alabama cops planted drugs on black folks for 10 years straight? We need revolution. 10 years straight? So they would say, hey, this guy's got crack. I was sitting there watching one, and the guy's like trying to fucking harass the driver. The driver hasn't done shit, but he just keeps fucking with dude and fucking with dude and fucking with dude. And I'm glad he didn't get fucking killed. But only because of cameras and how things are. George Washington had the upper hill advantage in the Battle of Harlem Heights. He lost Long and York Island and then eventually all of New York City. But he won Harlem Heights. So you keep the other upper hand until you can't anymore. You maintain the high ground until you can't anymore. Stay calm, polite, mannerly until it all goes sideways. R.I.P. Chief Takatak, R.I.P. Chris Dorner. The Paiwan Revolution of 1867. You can't fuck with no Chief Takatak. What was it that Lincoln said about U.S. Grant? U.S. Grant was better than McClellan because at least he fights. The revolution will break down along these lines. It's the rich and the powerful versus the poor and the weak. If you're in a position of authority, if you're wealthy, if you're making over $100,000, any privileged motherfucker, I want to say anybody that gets a mailbox or fucking security or has a bank account. But let's not go that fucking far. But you're more privileged than me. How the fuck did you get a bank account? I can't convince any of these fucking bureaucratic motherfuckers of anything. I was kind, I was polite, didn't fucking matter. They're pieces of shit and they want to fuck you over. Okay, I don't want to put my money here anyways, you piece of shit. I'm supposed to trust you motherfuckers? Now I hear that there's somebody out here in the world that's rooting for me. I haven't met them yet. But they're out here, so that's nice to know. There's people that I know that's not rooting for me, but there's people out here that I don't know who are for me. So that's exciting. How can we organize a Congress for the Western Hemisphere? When I think about what did George Washington actually need for his revolution? He needed a couple of delegates. He needed a Congress, a Bill of Rights. So the reason why the 3 branches can't rein in the cops do whatever the hell they want in America. When I think about the institutions, people say that the entire world's economy is based upon America's institutions. Well, we got an institution of poverty. So poverty is fucking maintained, right? Capitalism has to maintain a poor class to do all the crap work. So poverty is an institution. Homelessness is an institution. The banks doing whatever the fuck they want to do is an institution. And the cops doing whatever the fuck they want to do is an institution. So if the entire world's economy is based upon our institutions. We have a bunch of sick, fucked up institutions that maintain misery and maintain people's lower standard of living. You know, it is weird that Nazi governments and Nazis are such bitch-ass chumps to a couple warning shots. Motherfucker, I had 39 shots whizzing by my fucking head. 5 cops with AK-47s just itching to shoot me. Why did Keith Schultz want to shoot me? Well, I called him and said, hey, why don't you be a cop? And he says, I don't want to be a cop. And then I went to Soto Cruz and I said, you going to be a cop? And he said, I don't want to be a cop either. And then when they turned their fucking backs on me, I guess I was supposed to argue with them or something? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck the deal is, but I can't convince these motherfuckers. I have all the evidence in the world. I'm not a bad person. I document this stuff. I don't go hurting people. People are hurting me. And it's fucking intolerable. It's intolerable. It's absolutely intolerable. But it's just weird that these Nazis act like they're such tough guys, and these Nazi governments act like they're tough guys, but they're being bitches about a couple warning shots. Motherfucker, people were shooting at my fucking head doing drive-bys, driving by my fucking house, you bitch-ass pieces of shit. So if they're going to fucking shit their pants over a couple warning shots, if I'm sitting there doing the same shit that they're doing, drive-by fucking shootings and shit, killing their fucking puppies, spotlighting them in the middle of the fucking night, tailgating, fucking following, oh, he just left his house, so let's go fucking rob him. If I'm sitting there doing all that shit day in and day out, every time you walk out of your fucking house, I'm driving by just staring at you. What you doing, Phil Greeny? You come here to rape my fucking kittens now? You piece of shit, bitch. They raped my fucking dogs like they killed Tecumseh because he was a good dog. Tecumseh wasn't dangerous in the slightest. He was a nice, sweet puppy. He wanted to hang out with them. And they murdered him because that's who Michael Gonzalez is. That's who Ann Kelly is. These bitches want to cry about a few fucking warning shots. So these Nazi motherfuckers ain't tough at all. You stupid ass piles of shit. You got all the guns and the fucking body armor and all the AK-47s. You have all the resources in the world to go after these criminal motherfuckers. And they just stick the thumb up their asses. And they prevent me from going. I asked that Michael Gonzalez about citizen's arrest and he got scared. He knows some of these motherfuckers. He's probably a right-wing sovereign bitch himself. Fucking Nazi fuck. So the Nazis have infiltrated Costilla County and a lot of the government. I can't really tell if the government is just fascist pieces of shit, but they're not doing anything for me. And I'm not going to fucking pretend my children, Abraham and Oksana, my future children, I'm not going to pretend that these motherfuckers are for my fucking children whatsoever. I see how they're treating me, motherfuckers. Yeah, fuck you. No, you're not on my side in the fucking slightest. Defund the fucking police is right. Cops are fucking crap. America's got a Bill of Rights, and that's the law. That means when the press, Julian Assange is sitting in fucking jail. The law is freedom of the press. So whoever the fuck is confining him, whoever arrested him, those are the motherfuckers that need to be arrested. Edward Snowden, motherfucking Bradley Manning. Goddamn. Do we have freedom of speech? That's the first fucking freedom. According to my calculations, we got 88 freedoms. You take Colorado's Constitution, America's Constitution, and you put them together. That's the law, you stupid bitches. But they don't give a fuck about, Ann Kelly don't give a fuck about Colorado law. They don't give a fuck about civil liberties. And they don't care about being fair. If a cop just kidnaps you for jaywalking, well, they'll fuck you over. They'll talk down to you and be a fucking dickhead and fuck you over. Every single one of these fascist pieces of shit will just fuck you over. So that's the reason why we have a right to revolution is because, and hell, Thomas Jefferson said we have a right to revolution every 20 fucking years. That Gilbert fucking Roman, that bitch stole fucking $1,000 from me. Motherfucker, I gotta sit there and go to Alamosa and print up all the copies, give one copy here, here, and here. And they're the ones fucking around with the schedules, you stupid bitch. That's the reason why you have an appeal stay, you stupid bitch. Robert Kennedy was actually killed by a cop, but you'd have to fucking put the evidence together. You'd have to think about it, put the evidence together. There's no videotape. And they said it was Sirhan, that brown guy. And he did some shooting, but there was a guy that was right behind Robert Kennedy that did some shooting too. Bobby Jr. thinks that RFK was killed by Thane Eugene Caesar. So do I. Anybody that's looked at the fucking case, you see a lot of fucking put the pieces together. Use your logic. We're not animals. We're rational animals. And if you read the preamble, it says that one of the 5 reasons for having a constitution and a government is to establish justice. they're establishing injustice. They're saying that the fucking Nazi motherfuckers get a goddamn, I don't know how, I'm speaking English here, but nobody's listening to me. So I'm going to use rhetoric and just say, well, they just kept shoving green beans up my kids' asses. You got Phil Greeny, right? He's fucking stalking the shit out of me. If they're fucking with Oksana and Abraham's father, how the fuck am I supposed to get a job? How am I supposed to be able to get anything? They're fucking stalking the fuck out of me. So Phil Greeny's driving by acting like he wants to shove green beans up my ass. He shot 13 times. Well, that's green beans up my kids' asses right there. 13 shots, huh? Fucking 39 shots total. 8 assassination attempts. Motherfuckers, y'all want to pretend that that's okay? It's not okay. That's crimes. You're committing crimes. And I've never had security a day in my life in this fucking country, motherfuckers. What the fuck is wrong with you sons of bitches? Seriously. Am I speaking English here? I'm speaking English. You're just not listening. And that's, if you're a cop and you hear that people don't have security, why the fuck don't you fucking investigate? They got all the power in the world to go ask a couple questions. But because I called them bitches, now if I go fucking ask the questions, they'll sit there and they gotta be in cahoots. So if I ask questions, he's harassing me. Motherfucker, if you didn't want a badge, give me the fucking badge. I'll go do the police work. I'll establish justice. And I'll protect people's civil liberties. Motherfuckers. So cops murdering people left and right, that's a U.S. institution. The economy is fucked. The world economy is fucked. Russia and China shouldn't use the dollar anymore. And if we're not going to be the reserve currency, the empire is crumbling. The empire is crumbling. If all these stupid-ass bitches, they're sitting there trying to find, how many other innocent people have they fucked over? They're just fucking taking Anne Franks and they're fucking kidnapping them and they're taking their fucking money. They're thieves. $130 I spent for subpoenas. $1,000 I spent. $5,000 for the fucking bail bond. Okay, so I respected you. I went to you and I said, hey, here's the crimes. I respected planning and zoning. You're fucking over a guy that respected the shit out of you. Now I have no fucking respect for any of these motherfuckers. Nah, I know you're a pile of shit. Why the fuck would I want a Soto Cruz to come around here? No, you're not going to protect Abraham and Oksana. I'm having a barbecue. You get the hell out of here. Official misconduct, motherfucker. You were supposed to arrest the criminals. You didn't do that. I called you before September 17th. And then if you want to say, God, when I think about Jacqueline Mitchell, what did she do to get her dismissal? She just was a dumb, lying piece of shit. Now, Aunt Kelly, he's the bad guy. I don't even know who he is. But he's just harassing me, I think. I don't even know who he is. He's probably just harassing me. Huh. Oh, I hear he's just harassing her. You just fucking heard a lie and you believed it, you stupid piece of shit. So because she wasn't kidnapped by a cop and I was, I'm 100% fucking guilty and that piece of shit is 100% right. You guys are stupid. You guys are the dumbest motherfuckers. I wasn't just shooting at people to shoot at people. I wasn't shooting at anybody. I fired warning shots up in the air. You all shot at me. You shot at me. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. You got criminal motherfuckers over there. Why are we going to ignore that? Why are we going to ignore the corrupt fucking government and the criminal motherfuckers? Why are we going to ignore that? Because you don't know me and oh well, there's that fucking guy. The fucking Johnny Hurley saved the fucking day. He saved the day. There's an active shooter and he shot the active shooter. And you know what the cops did? They shot the hero. Why would the cops shoot the hero? Christian Glass got fucking murdered. He got $19 million. His family was able to get $19 million. So there is some justice. Apparently there is some way forward. Maybe. If you got the right lawyer, I guess, or something. I don't know. If you know the fucking pathway. And then how do you feel about that, America, you dumbass piles of shit? You have these fucking goddamn thug, motherfucking fascist Nazi fucks in uniform going around victimizing people, and now you're fucking paying $19 million because you didn't know right versus wrong. You didn't know right. Somebody eventually figured out right versus wrong, but you didn't know. You killed an innocent man. I've talked to people, and they just fucking have a blank expression on their face. Like it wasn't even a life. Like he's not even a fucking person. Told people that it's like being on the front lines. Being on the front lines, yeah, motherfucker. Being on the fucking front lines. You give some pile of shit a little bit of a... They got license to kill. And the three branches of government can't rein them in. They can't rein them in. They're a bunch of intellectual eggheads. They're not going to arrest anybody. They couldn't... They couldn't live for a day in my shoes. And because I've gone through these experiences, I know that the system is fucked. The system is fucked. What Ann Kelly and Michael Gonzalez is trying to do is they're trying to bury 100 to 200 crimes of their Nazi buddies, of their Nazi friends. They're trying to bury them. When I talked about citizen's arrest, he got fucking nervous. So if the cops ain't doing shit and the judges ain't doing shit, then that means I'm going to do something. You think I'm just going to let Phil Greeny shove green beans up my kids' asses? That's who you people are. For 5 fucking years, the McDonald's shoved green beans up those kids' asses. You think Michael Gonzalez feels bad? He don't have a conscience. He don't give a shit that they were getting fucking abused for 5 years straight. Samantha McDonald didn't even get in trouble. So if you're a white woman, you're allowed to be a fucking child-abusing piece of shit. You're allowed to be a Nazi, racist, child-abusing piece of shit if you're a Caucasian woman. God damn. Talk about privilege. Is that what it is? We're all protecting these stupid-ass Caucasian Karen motherfuckers, and they don't even read the Constitution. They don't even know the law of America. So they're not trying to promote virtue or democracy or freedom. They're just taking all the fucking freedom, breathing all the air in, taking whatever fucking amenities there are. So Jacqueline Mitchell gets to lie right to her fucking face, lies right to her fucking face, and then she goes back and takes Social Security and starts abusing her son again. She gets to live her life, and what good is that? That's not helping anybody. She's not getting a job, not helping anybody. She tried to murder my fucking dog about 12 times. That's not fucking crime. So if I'm driving by Ann Kelly's house about 12 times, trying to provoke her Stella to come out so I can fucking run her over, you're telling me I don't get in trouble for that? Shut the fuck up. Michael Gonzalez was a stupid punk-ass bitch because I slightly grimaced at something? Fuck you motherfuckers. That bitch is fucking fucking with me, and he keeps fucking with me, and I've been respectful of all you motherfuckers up until now. I'm sick. I'm still good, and I'm still lawful. But I'm not playing your stupid bullshit games anymore, you fucking piles of shit. If Phil Greeny gets to commit 100 crimes against me, he gets to shoot 13 shots against me, and you ain't going to do a fucking thing, I'm not going to pretend that that's not happening. I'm not going to do that. No, you're fucking with me, and you're a bunch of fucking stupid-ass piles of shit. None of those cops did any investigations. None of those cops made any kind of arrest. So to pretend that people shooting at people is a fucking crime, but you haven't arrested anybody. Shut the fuck up, you lying motherfuckers. You're not fair people. You're not fair people. I think the crime that it's not the warning shots, it's that they arrested me. The crime is the arrest. Oh, you were arrested? Well, your life's over. For a couple warning shots, I thought Nazis are supposed to be tough guys. A bunch of bitch-ass bitches. So banks never failing, right? We got to prop up the cops. You got to prop up the banks. Our economy is fucked. Our economy, I'm not allowed, if good family men can't establish a homestead and get a job, our economy is fucked. America is fucked. These institutions are crap. Who knows how long we're going to have this internet? So they can't get the cops in line. They need some bouncer to fucking kidnap people. So the executive, judicial, legislative, they can't do shit. That's why we do need a fucking President Camacho. Somebody that knows, a cop, a person that knows that when you're out there and you had to fucking make an arrest. It's easy to arrest some Anne Frank. Well, he's lawful. He paid for his permits. Yeah, we went out there and he just talked to us. He came right out and talked to us. So we had to arrest him. Well, he was being lawful, paying for our permits. He was setting such a good example. We had to fuck his life over. He was setting a good example. We had to fuck his life over. And then motherfuckers, the advice that I got. Oh, there looks like there's 5 people out here want to rape me. Well, why don't you go talk to them? You want me to get killed and raped? Yeah, go out there and get killed and raped. I mean, go talk to him. I'm nosy. I'm a dumb, nosy bitch. Go out there and talk to him. Robert Pickrell committed crimes and stayed inside the fucking house. He didn't call no piece of shit bitch and get shit advice. Fucking ugly motherfucker. God damn. Anybody that would tell you to fucking... Yeah, that's not a friend. That's not an ally. That's an enemy. So when it comes to freedom, we don't believe in freedom. Look at Julian Assange. Look at Edward Snowden. Look at Bradley Manning. We don't believe in freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of petitioning. I've heard so many people talk against freedom. I remember Mary Beth fucking Flynn. She goes, what's the First Amendment? And I said, freedom of speech. And she goes, nope. It was religion. There's 5 freedoms there, Mary fucking Beth. But her shit, it was religion. Yeah, well, back then, the main focus was religion. You're just lying, motherfucker. You're a fascist piece of shit. And what we have to sit there and listen to your lies and believe your lies. I talked to a teacher and I told him my dreams and he said, you can't do that. So these fucking fascist teacher motherfuckers don't give a shit either. Hold on, world. Relief is on the way. Good job, Dr. Jill Stein. So, Americans are against freedom. Americans don't believe in freedom. The fascists are in fucking charge. The fascists are at the door. No, the fascists are in fucking charge. And so, when you're an oppressor molester, we're all supposed to be oppressor molesters. We're all supposed to be a bunch of, I'm not going to be an oppressor molester. You fascist bastards, you nozo chomo motherfuckers. Nah, fuck you, goddamn pedophile fucking Nazi motherfuckers. You raped them kids for 5 years. You shoved green beans up those kids' asses for 5 fucking years. Everybody that's goddamn associated with the fucking McDonald's shouldn't be there. They fucking allowed that shit to fucking happen. And then you're gonna fuck with the guy that's against child abuse, the guy that's against racism, the guy that paid for his permits. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You pieces of shit. You guys just hate my light. You hate my good example. I'm not going around hurting people. And maybe because I speak out, I criticize you. You know, the only justice that I got was I got to call Jacqueline Mitchell a piece of shit. But you know what I would have rather have had? A good neighbor. I would have rather had a good neighbor. Or a cop that would have fucking arrested her. Or arrest power so I could stop the shit. Instead, I had to stand there like a dumbass. That you already killed one of my fucking dogs and now this piece of shit bitch is trying to kill my other fucking dog. Oh, you don't know who killed my dog? You lying motherfucker. When I ask Jacqueline Mitchell, she's a right-wing sovereign, they objected to that question because they're Nazi motherfuckers. Fuck you, Nazi. I want good American citizens, and I want to hear how much you love America's freedoms. We need to have another revolution just to reassert our Bill of Rights and the rule of law and the 3 branches of government. These motherfuckers don't realize what the fuck this country is about. The rest of the world looks at America as like a whole, oh, you just like your freedoms, huh? That's all you care about, your freedoms. We don't have freedoms. So Mary Beth Flynn thought it was a freedom of religion. I remember going to college and there was this one fucking guy just, oh, freedom of speech. That's all you talk about, freedom of speech. That's our first freedom, motherfucker. So they're sitting and making fun of me. Another fucking guy was saying, freedom, freedom, freedom. That's all you talk about. Then there was another guy too, freedom of speech. I forget. Somebody else kind of rolled their eyes. Oh, yeah, Ann Kelly rolled. Oh, he talks about freedom. It's in the preamble, motherfucker. So you're going to sit there and say, you know, it's in the code too. If you try to stop a peaceful, in Colorado code, if you try to stop a peaceful assembly, it's not just in the Constitution, it's not just the Bill of Rights, but it's part of the CRS criminal code. It's like a misdemeanor or something, but if you have a lawful assembly, peaceful, lawful assembly, and somebody disperses it and breaks it up, that's a crime. That's a crime. And it's a crime to stop our speech. It's a crime to stop our petitioning. It's a crime to stop our press. Because that's law. It's law. Christopher Mondragon, he's still at large. What did he do? Oh, he just killed Kenny John. I mean, that's it. You think Quintana and fucking Gonzalez are going to be a fucking piece of shit to Kenny John? He's dangerous. He's dangerous and killed a man. They'll probably back the fuck up with him. Oh, okay. But this Ann fucking Frank, this J.C. Dugard that you kidnapped over here, this Frederick Douglass, this good, kind, polite man, by saving my soul, I feel like I'm saving America's soul too. I'm a good American. I'm a good American citizen. I obey the law. I don't go hurting people. It'd be nice just to have a little house and be able to go to the grocery store, have an 8-hour job, 40-hour a week, and then come home and all my shit's there. I get to keep my wages. I get to keep my assets. But the way that they're set up over there in Costilla County, if you leave for 8 hours, say goodbye to every fucking thing that you got. Say goodbye to everything that you got. They don't even need a fucking reason. They'll come up with a reason, but they don't even need a reason. So I'm wondering, is Christopher Mondragon even going to be arrested? I mean, because when I think about Phil Greene told Ann Kelly to go fuck your subpoena. I'm not going to, and they told fucking Michael Gonzalez, fuck your court. Nah, I'm not going to listen to your fucking court. He got 1 day fucking contempt of court warrant. 1 day. Motherfucker gets to commit 100 crimes against me. We subpoenaed that motherfucker properly, and you're not even concerned that he just said fuck you. He said, fuck me, but also fuck you, you piece of shit. Yeah, you can't subpoena Phil Greene. So every day that Phil Greene's not arrested, that's Soto Cruz sucking Phil Greene's dick. That's you all establishing injustice. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if I just hear about somebody going through these experiences, I would be fucking outraged. I could give a million fucks about a million people, and I can't seem to find one motherfucker to give one single damn about me. America's broken. America's broken. So many times whenever somebody's pulled over, somebody gets shot and killed, it's like, oh, that sucks to be that guy. Well, that guy went down. Oh, well, it's dog-eat-dog capitalism. So if anything, well, that's a competitor that just got knocked out of the competition. So banks stealing as much money, cops stealing as much money as they want to, and poverty and homelessness. These are the institutions that's going to keep America and the world economy afloat. No, the whole thing's going to crash. Maybe it's the housing, maybe it's something else. Who knows? Oh, yeah, here's a fucking, Kenny Capin clicking his gun right there. Yeah, Kenny Capin right there. Yeah, and fucking tapping his gun right there on videotape. So when it comes to you all shoving green beans up my kids' asses, I could videotape you all fucking shoving green beans up my kids' asses. You think don't you think my kids need a father? Don't you think my kids need a fucking provider and shit, a protector? So if Oksana and Abraham, if this is how they're treating their father, you think Oksana and Abraham's going to have a fucking chance? Now, I don't want Kenny Capin sitting there clicking his gun on the side of his fucking car every time he drives by my fucking house. You all could look at a videotape and say, well, that's not what it is. But if I arrested the guy, you would know he's fucking guilty. Well, he was arrested. I mean, we know he's guilty. You arrested him. You're a cop. We know he's guilty, 100%. That's stupid. The Robert Ogburn standard is you carry every accusation to the fullest extent of the law. Not every arrest, every accusation. And I made accusations beforehand. They didn't listen to a fucking thing. He also says to protect civil liberties. So when Ann Kelly rolls her eyes at freedom, she's rolling her eyes at the Bill of Rights, the U.S. Constitution, the Colorado Constitution, the preamble. So do you believe in established injustice? Do you have any virtues at all? In order for our democracy to survive, we need to have virtuous people. So you don't like my virtue, you don't like my light, you don't like that I got a green gate, you don't like that I'm 6 foot tall and that I'm following the fucking law and that I'm polite and that I'm a good neighbor. You don't like that I'm a good neighbor? Fuck you. I want a million John Masters. I'm sick of you assholes. I want a million John Masters all over the place. He'll be as big of a friend as you want to be. And he definitely ain't going to rob you. He's not going to be jealous of your shit. He wants you to fucking succeed. So that's great. I could go to work. If John Masters is my neighbor, he could look over the fucking place. And if he sees some dumb shit, he'll fucking videotape. He'll call the cops and he'll definitely let me know what's going on. Try to talk to fucking Dan there. He don't know how to do texting. Oh, okay. Hey, Dan, I got a stalker. Hey, Dan, there's a criminal fuck. Hey, did you see that truck? Oh, he don't know how to text. And then since, I asked him a bunch of... Now he's stalking me. Fucking awesome. So I reach out to you bitches, and now you all are doing the same shit. Oh, my God. I hear there's somebody out there. I hear there's somebody good out there for me. So let's see here. Yeah, here's a YouTube thing. Costilla County Nazi searching for puppies. Kinsey's driving around my fucking house like a creepazoid creep. And I've told motherfucking Jared Polis and the fucking Attorney General, none of you authorities, where's the humanity? Goddamn, these motherfuckers have spent billions of dollars. There's so many motherfuckers that are fucking getting paid good. I'm not getting any of the money from this government. I don't have any security and protection. And it's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. You want to keep not listening to me? You'll keep not listening to me because that's who you fucking people are. If you look at the psychological experiments, Stanford prison experiments, well, as soon as you dress like a cop, you just start abusing people just because you feel like it. I mean, that's your team, right? So, let's see. What other lessons can we learn from the revolution? In a way, George Washington lost a bunch of battles, but that's all he had to do is wear them out. They had to keep paying their soldiers and shit. This is his homeland. So Robert Pickerel, that's fucking genius, right? Robert Pickerel he absolutely thwarted goddamn Soto Cruz. Soto Cruz can't figure it out. He'll never fucking arrest the bad guys. Robert Pickerel committed crimes, and then when they went out there, the cops, he stayed inside his house. And now I'm here trying to explain this shit that's fucking happening, and they're wasting my time sitting by me for a fucking hour, acting like I'm some fucking crazy person or some shit. No, it happened, you stupid bitch. You gonna ask him a question or not? And then I've seen gangsters actually do better fucking police work than these motherfuckers. Oh, what did you say happened? Okay, what did you say happened? Let's see here. No, you're right. This guy's on some bullshit. So gangsters are doing fucking better fucking police work than the fucking system. We got millions of dollars for the courts and the cops, and they don't even give a fuck about establishing justice. They don't even give a fuck about establishing justice. If a cop kidnaps a person, because they're not going to fucking arrest anybody, so they're dependent on the bouncers to go around kidnapping people, and then they'll just say, well, fuck your life. We got your body, so fuck your life. And Ann Kelly will lie. She'll sit there and say, Phil Greene isn't needed for foundation, even though he was needed for foundation. She's a lying piece of shit. So just like Jacqueline Mitchell, Ann Kelly, they lie and lie some more. They have no virtues. They have no soul. They don't care about fucking people over. They're a bunch of sick motherfuckers. If I wasn't being fucked with, I would be raising tomatoes. Maybe be a journalist, maybe a professor. But frankly, I think just raising some tomatoes and then selling my tomatoes at a farmer's market and not have to deal with you motherfuckers as least as possible. But if we can't open up businesses here, we're not allowed to get a job, and we can't open up businesses here. Some people can. Some people have bank accounts. Some people could get fucking big bank loans and do whatever the hell they want to do. All this fucking money being spent. All this fucking money. So, I mean, there's a lot of fucking suffering and misery. Fred Hampton and Robert Kennedy were killed by the cops. So any good person who stands up and says, hey, stop with the bullshit, that's who we kill. And if even Fred Hampton and Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, if even they can get murdered by the cops, cops are just fucking worthless. They're fucking worthless. We need to defund the police, and we need to think about policing completely different. I think everybody who's in power now, just decommission them all and start elevating good people. I think it'd be an awesome cop. And you would never know. You would have no idea if you treated me right. If I had security, what the fuck could I have been? And who the fuck is getting security? You're going to let people kill people's puppies and shit? You know what I wouldn't do? Go around killing your puppies. I would get a job, raise my tomatoes. But apparently in Costilla County, you can't find a wife or a career, and you're definitely not allowed to raise a family in an abuse-free household, in a crime-free neighborhood, in a civil society. They don't believe in that shit. They're a bunch of devil-worshipping Robert Pickrells. Robert Pickrell commits crimes. The cops come out there, put a thumb up their asshole, and they don't do shit. You want to sit there and say that warning shots are a fucking crime? Okay, within 39 shots at my fucking head's a crime too, you fucking pile of shit. And if you want me to pretend that you believe in justice, arrest somebody. And if you don't arrest anybody, then what you're saying is 1 million crimes as a child, 1 million crimes as an adult is okay. It's not. 2 million crimes later, I'm not going to pretend any of you motherfuckers are good. Y'all could kiss my ass on that bullshit.